Hey everybody, it's Kyle Elliott coming from Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Palmetto. I'm located out here in Cane Bay, and I'm here for all of your real estate needs, whatever it may be, buying, selling, advice. I'm here for you. But what I want to do here today is give you the weekend football wrap up. So, down here in the South, big on college football. Not so much on NFL. I'm more of an NFL guy, but we're going to talk about all of the football. So, starting off last week, we had the Cowboys and Eagles. Man, the NFL really knows to come out with a banger. That was a great game. Uh, they did have that rain delay, lightning delay, and I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie, but when I woke up, it was the same score at the end. What I didn't know is the Cowboys really had a chance, but uh, CD Lamb just couldn't come through with it in the end. Couldn't open those hands up. So the Eagles took them down. And then the Chargers and the Chiefs played on YouTube. Man, you have to have so many different subscriptions now to watch a full NFL season. But I was able to watch it. It was a good game. I thought the Chiefs were going to win. You always have to go for the Chiefs because it seems like they have at least 12 people on the field all the time, at least. But Chiefs starting 0-1. The Chargers looked legit. They're always pretty solid, better than average, I'd say, but they might be making a statement this year. Then we win the weekend, the Saturday games. College, there wasn't a whole lot to speak of with college this week. We saw the number 12 team go down. Arizona State went down to Mississippi State. Uh, Down here, you hear a lot about Florida. Florida, number 13, went down to USF. So South Florida took them down. Um, the only ranked matchup of the weekend in college was Michigan, number 15, against Oklahoma, number 18. And I was able to watch that game with my buddy Jason. He's a huge Oklahoma fan, and Oklahoma took it down 24-13. As a Big Ten fan myself, I still don't really believe in Michigan. They just don't give me that warm fuzzy. And then SMU, uh, it was a shootout with SMU number 17. They lost to Baylor 48-45 in overtime. That was a heck of a game too. Now back to the NFL. All the primetime games were really good games. I really am hesitant to talk about last night's game. That hurts me to my heart. Oh man, more about that later. But the primetime games were really good, but the all the other games they were weak. It was not great football to watch. I'll run through some scores here. No surprise, the Cardinals beat the Saints, but they did not look dominant. Didn't look great. The Colts setting records for was it like 7 possessions that they had. They scored on every single one of them. The Colts were supposed to be hot garbage this year with Daniel Jones. The Colts picked up the Giants' trash and got Daniel Jones, and he looked like a Hall of Famer Sunday. All right, moving on. The Raiders beat the Patriots, and there was not a whole lot to say about that game, except you can hear like the last of the Patriots bandwagon fans falling off now. The next game, once again, Aaron Rodgers contributed to another Jets loss, but this time he was not on the Jets. He was on the Steelers, and that was a heck of a game too. The late field goal to take it, 34-32. That was a good game, and that said a lot for Jets fans. As a Bears fan myself, seeing Justin Fields do good, it kind of hurts, but not as bad as Aaron Rodgers doing good. That hurts me even more. That was a hard game for me to watch. Speaking of the Giants, hot garbage also. They lost 6-21 to the. I still have to call them the Redskins. But the Commanders beat the Giants. They should have won a little more handily than that. Then being in the Southeast, you would think that a Panthers-Jaguars game, the two teams that are closest to my geographic location. You'd think I would have heard all about that, and it would have been the hype around here. It was not. I didn't hear anything about it, but as expected, the Jaguars took that one down, 26-10. Um, Bengals Browns. If you, I would have never guessed that was a 1 point game. I had the number 2 pick in my fantasy football draft, and I got Jamar Chase, and I was excited to see him going up against the Browns. And he even had a reception or two right off the bat early, and that's when he stopped. That was it. I got like 4.6 points from Jamar Chase and the number 2 overall position. But yeah, Bengals 17, Browns 16. I don't know what else to say about that. Buccaneers beat the Falcons. Buccaneers are supposed to be good this year. They're usually somewhat good now-ish, kind of. Baker Mayfield's always fun to watch. Well, not always, but a lot of times fun to watch. But Buccaneers beat the Falcons 23-20, and yeah, that was a good game. 49ers and Seahawks, they were fighting to see who could win it and who could lose it at the same time. The 49ers, I think I might be able to kick for the 49ers if they let me put on a uniform. Like maybe they let me do like the 30 to 35 and below. I'm not talking about age. I'm over that. I'm talking about like yards. I'm probably more automatic from inside 30 than their kicker. But 49ers won to keep their fans talking trash and them thinking that they have a real quarterback, not a game manager. But yeah, that was 17-13 49ers. Another game I didn't really hear anything about is the Titans and Broncos. For almost a one-score game, 20-12, Broncos took that one. I didn't hear much about it. Not to some better games. I hate saying better. The Packers beat the Lions. I don't like either one of the teams, but I really don't like the Packers, and they won by 2 touchdowns over the Lions, who many think are up there for contenders for the Super Bowl. And the Packers kind of dominated them. Micah Parsons got his first sack as a Packer, so that's kind of cool. I mean, except I'm not a Packers fan or a Micah Parsons fan, but good for him. Another boring game, though. The Rams beat the Texans in a really weird final 14-9. Like, that had been a terrible game to watch. I don't think I ever saw a highlight from that at all. I kind of like C.J. Stroud, and obviously he didn't do much in that game. Then, possibly the game of the week, again, I fell asleep. And I fell asleep with the Ravens winning pretty well. Ravens are, I'd say, the most exciting team for me to watch. Ravens were up by 15 with 4 minutes to go. They were up 40-25, and they were clicking. I like a lot of the Ravens players. They lost. They made Josh Allen look like a Hall of Famer. And first thing I did when I woke up on Monday morning is look at the score of that game, and I had to blink several times. Like, I saw the 40, and I thought that won it, and then I saw 41, and I was like, what? Wait, which team? Oh, my God. And then I turned SportsCenter on, and I watched highlights over and over and over. But, yeah, Bills took down the Ravens. It was in Buffalo, so that helps. Another Monday night game. My lovable losers, the Chicago Bears, started out fire. They were doing whatever they wanted to on offense. They were kind of doing whatever they wanted to on defense for most of the first half, but then they weren't getting into the end zone, and they scored a touchdown on the first drive. Then when they got the pick six, 74-yard interception return for a touchdown with a backup cornerback, it was like, this is over. I texted a friend of mine, and I was like, hey, yeah, the Bears were picked to be 6-11 at the end of the year. I don't see a 6-11 team on this field. And in my mind, I was like, if anybody's 6-11 at the end of the year, it's going to be the Vikings. Look at them. J.J. McCarthy, again, another game manager. Not great Yeah, at the end of the game, I didn't see a 6-11 team on the field either. The Bears might only be 5-12. That they will find a way to lose. They will steal defeat out of the clutches of victory, and that hurts me a lot. All right, so next week, it's almost flip flop. The NFL doesn't have many good games next week. Eagles and Chiefs looks to be the highlight of the weekend. For college, they still haven't gotten to conference play, but you will see Georgia Tennessee is probably going to be the best game of the week. There should be some hype behind that one. USF and Miami. Miami is gonna probably wreck them, but you never know. USF just snuck into the polls after they beat Florida last weekend, and then Texas A&M is going to go to play against the Catholics and Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is coming off of a bye week, so yeah, I'll come back next week and give you the highlights for the football again. Again, Kyle Elliott from Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. I'm here for all of your needs. Call me 619-207-1067. Later.